G'day guys, and finally welcome back to another One Piece opening. Today we're going to be checking out the brand new starter deck 13, the Three Brothers. So this is another like kind of ultimate deck. We saw that with starter deck 10, where we got the three captains in there. This time we got the Three Brothers. Before we get stuck into the opening today, today's giveaway is going to be a sealed one of these. So all you have to do to win yourself one of these is like the video, be a subscriber of the channel, and let us know in the comment section down below what your favorite thing is out of this new starter deck, and that get yourself an entry to win one of these. Now these guys are a little bit different. So these guys actually come with some packs with some alternate arts, which I actually think is a really cool idea. And so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to open up 2 of them, because that's all I could get my hands on was 2. Usually we'd open up quite a few, especially with products that have all these alternate arts and other goodies in them, but we just got 2 for you today. So we'll bust into these and we'll see what we can find. We'll see what we can find. Now, apologies for like the sporadicness with videos and posts and other things like that. Currently in the process of moving, and so yeah, interstate as well. So it's a bit of a journey. Yeah, a few things going on, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Soon we'll be back into a normal schedule of things. But out of the box comes in the deck box here, which is nice. We get a deck box in there. So we got Luffy, we got Ace, we got the One Piece symbol, and we got Sabo at the bottom there, One Piece up the top there, and then what comes in here, this is just a bit of storage. We've got the alternate art, so there's 3 per pack, so we get to open 2 of those, and then there is the deck there. So we'll leave the alternate art stuff for the end, pop that up the back there, but let's just take a look at the deck. So as per usual, we'll be having our budget build for this coming out probably tomorrow, the next day after you see this. And we'll try to have some optimized builds for some of these leaders here as well. So we do get 3 leaders here. So the first one here is Sabo. So Sabo is a red and yellow leader. 4 life, all these start with 4 life and 5,000 power. So the effect here is Don ×1, activate main once per turn. You may add 1 character with the cost of 3 or more and 7,000 power or more to the top of your life cards face up. And then the second part of that effect is up to one of your characters gains 2,000 power until the start of your next turn. So a nice way to buff your characters right there. A good way to get some constant recovery going on there, which is really nice. Sabo is probably the most beginner friendly leader out of the starter deck here, so there's definitely a build that you can do for your budget build with just the 2 starter decks combined, which we may look at. We'll probably look at the Luffy build just because that is probably the better build, not the more beginner friendly, but the better build there. But Sabo, some really good stuff there. A few versions of Sabo can be built. You can do, I've seen like a Whitebeard package run, I've seen a Straw Hat kind of rush package, seen a Wano package run, and then you got the Dressrosa, sorry, not the Dressrosa, the Revolutionary Army type package being run there as well. Moving on to Ace. So Ace is a blue-yellow leader. The effective Ace is Don ×2, activate main once per turn. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You can add up to 1 character with the cost of 5 to the top of your life face up. Then place the rest of the cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. And then the end of turn effect is trash all your face up life cards. So typically Ace, there's some cards that allow you then to use the top card of your life if you know what it is in the starter deck, which we'll look at in just a moment. So that can work it well into that strategy right there. But yeah, Ace can be quite effective. And then the last leader we're looking at is Monkey D. Luffy. So Luffy is a black-yellow leader. The effect here for this one is a kind of alternate condition with this card as well. So that alternate condition is your face-up card, life cards, are placed at the bottom of your deck instead of being added to your hand according to the rules. So I believe that also happens for effects that allow you to like pick up cards from your life or look at cards. I think that bottom decks it as well, if I'm understanding that correctly. We'll leave a comment in the comment section down below if that's not the case, but yeah, just something to keep in mind of. But this is probably the budget build leader that we'll be going for in tomorrow's video. Now, the rest of the effect is Don ×2, activate main once per turn. You may trash 1 card from your hand. If you have 0 life cards, add up to 2 character cards with the cost of 5 from your hand or your trash to the top of your life face up. So that can be quite good because there's ways, as we mentioned with Ace, there's ways that we can use those top life cards. We can use those cards that we know. But otherwise, you're recovering 2 whenever you hit 0, which is nice. You may not see those cards in your hand, but you're surviving extra turns, that's for sure. All right, now let's take a look at the cards, starting for the super rares. So I believe everything in this deck is shiny, but super rares, we got ourselves the Sabo, 5 cost, 6,000 power, 1,000 body. On play, you can trash 1 card from the top or bottom of your life, then you KO one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 5 or less. So that is a cost, so you have to do the trash to be able to get the KO, so you can't use the effect when you're on no life. But I believe we just get 2 Sabos. Yep. Next up, the other super rare we have is Ace. 5 cost, 7,000 body. On play, if you have 2 or less life cards, this card gains Rush. There's no counter, by the way, with this one. But yeah, really good. Definitely used in the budget build, especially the Sabo version, if you do want to see that. This is probably the main kind of character you want to spam out in the Sabo build. But yeah, really good in optimized Sabo builds as well. So we get 2 of those. Next up is another super rare, which is Garp. So Garp costs you 1, 2,000 body, 1,000 counter. This is the searcher of the deck. So on play, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal 1 Sabo, Ace, or Luffy card with the cost of 5 or less to your hand, and you place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So it searches the Sabo, the Ace, which we just saw. There's a Luffy as well that it searches, and then there's the kid versions of them as well that the Garp searches from the deck here. So we get just 2 versions of 2 copies of that, not 2 versions, sorry, two copies of that. Next, we have the Luffy, which costs you 5, 6,000 body, 1,000 counter. Activate main once per turn. This character gains 2,000 power until the start of your next turn. Then, if you have 1 or more life cards, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your life. So from the top of your life. So this card you can get the effect of when you have 0 life, so you can get that 2k buff when you're on 0 life, which is really nice. Synergizes well with the Luffy leader, so when you're on 0 and he's out, you can get the buff and then you can recover some life with the Luffy's effect there. And you get 2 copies of Luffy here. Okay, moving on to the first lot of rares that we get in the deck. So I believe, it looks like a bit of texture going on. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. There we go. Bit of texture on the rares, which is cool. So Ivankov, 3 cost, 4,000 body, 1,000 counter, is a blocker. Then on play, you can trash 1 card from the top or the bottom of your life. Then you can reveal 1 character with a cost of 5 from your hand added to the top of your life cards face down. So it's a great way to get the Luffy, the Ace, or the Sabo out of this deck to the top of your life. And the little versions of them help you bring them out from life, which we'll run into shortly. Ivankov, we do get 2 copies of Ivankov right there. Next up, we have a Newgate. A Newgate in yellow. We got a 6 cost, 7,000 body, 1,000 counter. On play, you can add 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. Then look at all your life cards. Place 1 card at the top of your deck and the rest of your life cards back down in any order. So really good at organizing your life. So it helps you put those bigger Ace, Luffy, Sabos at the top of your life, so you can use the little guys to bring them out. Can also help you put all your life cards face down, so it helps with Ace, so you're not trashing those cards at the end of your turn as well. So some good combos going on there. And then we get a full playset, the first full playset in the deck of Newgates there. Next, we have a Curly Dadan, 5 cost, 4,000 body, 1,000 counter, is a blocker. So we do get 2 blockers in this deck, which is nice. And the on plays, you can play 1 of each Sabo, Ace, or Luffy with a cost of 2 from your hand. So it helps you spam out the little guys to bring out a bunch of the big guys if you know they're in your life. But otherwise, a 4,000 power blocker, which is nice and good in this meta. 5 cost blocker, it's a little bit harder to remove, but you do get a full playset of the Dans. Next, we have the Sabo. So this is the little version of the big Sabo that we see here. 2 cost, 2,000 power, 1,000 counter. Now you can kind of see how these synergize here as we go through this effect. Activate main. You may trash this character. Reveal the top card of your life. If it's a Sabo with the cost of 5, you may play that card. If you do, up to one of your leaders gains 2,000 power until the start of your opponent's next turn, which is wild. So you're buffing, you're going to 7k, you're bigger than a Newgate at this stage, and you got a body out on board. So it's really cool. So if you know what your top life is, which a lot of these cards you can organize to know what your top life is, you can then bring out a Sabo, which is really nice. So you do get a full playset of the Sabo here. Next up, we're going on to a Shanks. So Shanks is like kind of a tech card in this deck here. 7 cost, 7,000 body, no counter. On play, you may turn one of your face-up life cards face down, which helps with the Ace and the Luffy as well, so you're not losing those cards there. And then if your opponent has 7 or more cards in their hand, you can trash 1 card from the top of your opponent's life. So cool little tech there. Only certain decks will run high hands. Some decks love to live in low hand size, so depending on your matchup, can be a really good card. But we got a full playset of the Shanks there. Right, next up we got an Ace, so another little guy here. 2 cost, 2,000 body, 1,000 counter. Activate main, you trash the card, reveal the top card of your life. If it's an Ace with the cost of 5, you can play it, and then your leader gets a 2,000 power buff. So similar to the Sabo, the Luffy that we'll see in a second has the same effect, brings out a 5 cost Luffy. Unfortunately, there's no other like 5 cost Aces out there at this stage. There is another 5 cost Sabo with the black blocker, and the Luffy is the rush Luffy, so you can optimize some of those builds if you have those cards already. But next up we have Makino, a 2k counter. Cost you 1, 0 power. On play, you can add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand. Then you can look at your life cards and place them back down in your life in any order. So great to rearrange your life order right there. Also then lets you turn your life face down, so it works well with the Ace there. With the Luffy, this is what I was questioning. I think instead of you adding those cards, it then puts them to the trash. I think that's how that rule works. We just need to clarify that down in the comment section below. But 2k counter, really nice, and you do get a full playset of Makino in the deck here. Now here's the Luffy, what I was talking about here. So 2 cost, 2,000 body, 1,000 counter. Has the same effect as the Sabo and the Ace. You trash the character, reveal the top card of your life. If it's a 5 cost Luffy, you play it out, and your leader gets a 2,000 power buff until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you do get 4 of those right there. Next up we have the second 2k counter deck, which is actually really nice. I think it's the first time where you've had a deck that has had multiple 2k counters in it. So this is Yamato, cost you 5, 4,000 body, is rush, which is really nice. And then on play, look at all your life cards, place 1 at the top of your deck, and then the rest go back in any order. So another way to rearrange your life. But it's not a requirement to get the rush like in some cards we've seen before, that life effect there. So you do have to do the effect. It's not a you may. You have to do that effect though. And to clarify what I was just saying before, if you had 0 life, you can play this out and you still get the rush. You don't have to look at your cards to be able to get that rush effect there. But if you do have those life cards, you do have to look at them, put 1 at the top of your deck. So we do get a full playset of the Yamatos right there. Next up, we're moving on to our first event. This is a counter event, Flame Dragon King, costs you 2. It's a counter up to one of your leader characters gains 4,000 power for the battle. Then you can look at all your life cards and place them back in your life in any order, which is really handy. So that helps you know what's coming up next. So really good early game, especially in the budget versions that run this, helps you to know where those bigger Ace, Luffy, and Sabos are. And the trick is actually really nice. You may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand, and then you can replace it with a card from your hand. So once again, a good life manipulation going on there. You just get 2 of those. The next one that we get are fairly similar. It is a 1 cost counter. It buffs a character lead by 2,000 power. Then if you have 0 life, you can draw a card. The trigger is the same as we saw before. You can add a card from the top or bottom of your life to your hand, and then replace the top card of your life with a card from your hand. So that's Gum Gum Jet Spear. And we get 2 of those. Next up, we have the 3 Brothers Bond. So this is another searcher. It's basically Garp, but in an event form. So you look at the top 5 for a Sabo, Ace, or Luffy. With the cost of 5 or less, you add to your hand, and then you replace the rest of the cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. And the trigger is to activate the main effect there. And you do get yourselves 4 of those. And then we end up with the Don. But now, give me 2 seconds to bust out the other deck, and we'll get the 2 packs and we'll crack them open and see what alternate arts we can get. All right, so we are back and we've got the 2 packs here. So you can get pretty much any card or any of the character cards, the main ones. So the Luffy, the Sabo, the Ace in the character forms, and the leader forms as alternate arts. And look, we've we're going to have an alternate leader here, which is absolutely insane. We'll know that for the next pack, so we don't spoil that. But let's look at them. Lovely artwork there, kind of similar to is the OPO3 leader style with the white kind of art style there. Really nice. So there's the Luffy there. We've got a Sabo, a little Sabo, and then we got ourselves the Ace leader. How good does that look? That's awesome. There we go. We'll pop that up the back there, and then we'll go into the next pack. Let's go through the front here. Oh, I'm seeing things. We're just, is this another leader? Is this what's going on here? Oh, we got ourselves another ace. There we go. We got ourselves another ace. Absolutely wild. We got an Ivankov. And we got a Makino. Okay, so all the characters do come in this alternate art style, which is absolutely insane. Double ace. That's wild. That's pretty cool. We're not complaining with that right there. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. Stay tuned for the budget build, which should be coming tomorrow, and then stay tuned for some optimized builds. Once again, sorry for being slow with some other things. We'll be in full force very, very shortly. Feel free to check out the Discord as well. We'll post up some of the other versions of the budget build in there if you guys would like. So check out the Discord server in the link in the description down below. But thank you so much for checking out today's video. Stay beautiful, and we'll see you all in the next one.